Hey, what is up beautiful people, it's Manish and welcome back to this video. And in this video I'm going to be sharing how I was using Notion to take notes during my civil engineering degree, school or university, whatever you say. So before that, I want to wish you a happy new year 2022, and may this year bring a best version of ourselves, and let's be productive this throughout this year. So as you can see, this is a Notions, and this is a system, or this is a framework for my systems over which I was taking a notes. So I use this system for semester 7 and semester 8. So in semester 7 I had 5 subjects: estimating, structural, transportation, project and hydropower. Also there were other 2 subjects of project and other elective subjects which I forgot, but I haven't taken notes of that thing. So I'm just gonna be briefly reviewing on how I was taking notes. So let's jump into the project engineering because I love this thing. So what I was doing was, the project engineering was a book, or was a subjects. The subjects has different subtopics, like different chapters over the subtopics, like project appraisal, CPM, shared finances, project planning, and project implementation, many things like that. You can have different pages over the subtopics. Like you can simply add like this slash and PhD, and you can have like this type of pages, subtopics, as you can say. So what I did was, firstly, I will just write down all the things, bits and bobs of everything that I was confused over. Like I was confused over what is project appraisal in project appraisal topics. So what was that thing? So I was confused over that thing. So what I did was just create a toggle list, which you can create like this type of like arrow sign and space, and you will creating toggle, and I will write what is a project appraisal, and I will simply just chunk it down the project appraisal. Project appraisal is SFR, and it's an assessment of a sustainability check for the weighted project to take or not, like that stuff. And I will write that thing like this, and I will just go over all the thing of hit and trial methods of what I was doing, and what I was missing and what I was not missing, like that stuff. Changing many versions, like that stuff of that answers, questions, and everything, stuff like that. So what I did was that similar process during 7 semesters. Basically it's like an active recalling system, which if you haven't known, then active recalling system is like asking yourself a question about that topic, and you have to answer it on your own words. Like you have to answer the topic of the questions that you have placed aside for yourself. Basically I was doing active recalling system. So basically I got an idea from this Anki app. If you haven't used the Anki app, then I highly recommend you to use. If you are probably a medical student, then I highly recommend you to use that thing. But since I'm a medical student, I'm an engineering student, so I haven't much used that app, but I have some experience with that Anki from YouTube videos, and I had downloaded some of the flashcards also, but I had not had many memorizations for the stuff that I had to do. So I haven't used that Anki at least what I have to say. So what was how I got idea from Anki was, Anki was having this active recalling and specific repetition thing. If you don't know this active recalling and specific repetition thing, then I highly recommend you to watch Ali Abdul video of what is active recalling and what is specific repetitions, because if you are a student, then you are gonna be loving this thing, because after using that 2 methods, then you are not gonna forget anything that you have read in your course book. But if you haven't done active space repetitions for a longer period of time, then you will obviously forget, like I did was just now, because since this is almost a year and a half old topics, so I had literally forgot what was that. But I had some bits and bobs, but if I recall this thing, I can know what I had in my head, or what what I have to need to know about that thing. So that is an active recalling and space repetition thing that will help you to get great marks in this type of studies. So what I did was, in this semester was this active recalling things, but I changed some little bits of tweaks in 8 semesters, because since 8 semester was after the pandemic, and I had to switch to over the digital media. So because everything wasn't digital thing, so I had to take classes in digital, I had to go submit assignments in digital, everything I had to do was in digital. So I created a system, or at least I tweaked the systems. Like what I did was, let's say procurement management, I had a systems breakdown of every week, because our classes will start on every week basis. So because this procurement management system was once in a week, I guess, and I had one class at a week, and I had drilled down this procurement management on a week basis. Every subject was on a week basis because I had to attend the class based on the weekly based. Also, in every week, I will have a glance overview of what topic that had covered during the past week or previous week, and I will just use that recording notes based on the week and save it in a Google Drive, and I'll just sync it with this Notion so that I can just run at with the simultaneous phase, so that I won't just crash anything, or I will not just load the fast forwarded files of which I hadn't taken notes of anything notes, or I had no idea about. I would what I mean to say is that what I had in the recording class of notes, I will have that similar copy of that notes in my Notions on my own language form of version, in what I had been done in over this thing. So I had a presentation files given to me, and I will extract every single bits and bobs of that presentation files of images, and I will space it over to Notion up to what the covers topics we have to cover. I know this is a long process, but trust me, it's gonna be very useful for you, at least for myself, of what I've experienced on based on that. And I will just write things that were confusing for me, and I will just put it over under that. I'll just put it under the image file that I was having problem. As you can see in this file, I was having a trouble in what is store, and I was having a trouble in what is HVAC, similar stuff like that. I can just drill down everything, bits and bobs of what I had to know and what I have to be learning on that topic. And if I had any queries about that thing, I'll just write it down, and after I write it down, I will just highlight this thing. I can change the headings based on what heading 1, heading 2. I can just color it like I used to do, but I haven't done this. And this, like the color, this is the best way to organize your notes in a digital way, I guess, at least for what I've experienced. I had used OneNote also, but OneNote doesn't serve that great as Notion, so I just switch it over to OneNotion because some features for it we designed as well. I liked it which in Notion, because Notion is very versatile, but it's like an Excel form of version, but is much better than Excel also, and also note-taking systems. And I can just use this as a form of a website also. Everything stuff is all in one, this stuff, so I use Notion. So basically I did like this type of stuff, and at last what I'll do is just export that all the subtopics and all the files in a PDF format, and I'm just gonna print that thing out and just gonna read on everything. If I had any mistakes or any queries again, then I will just highlight that thing, and I will look in research and write it in the piece of that papers, or write over that paper, and I will just relearn like that sort, like that thing. The thing that helped me secure a good marks during my engineering degree was has been a big part from this Notion also, but also big question banks also. So what I will say is just learn the question banks, just practice the question banks, see the patterns of the question banks. At least 50% of the time the question is gonna be same from the last 10 years, and remaining 50% is gonna be a little bit of different. But if you practice that 50% of the time of the little decades questions, then you are gonna be obviously doing great for that remaining 50% for what at least I have assumed or what I've experienced. And basically that's what I had been starting with this Notion, and I had just created these systems to just get a good marks over this over my university life. And yeah, basically that's for this video, I guess. And if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you're subscribed to this channel, because I will be uploading more of these types of contents in upcoming futures, and I will catch you guys pretty soon. Until that time, have a great day, have a safe day, and happy new year 2022 again, and I will catch you guys pretty soon. Until that time, peace out.